All right, batteries are dead. We're gonna start Seymour's here. This is the one with the wiring harness that is horrible. So this is gonna be a tough gig to dye injectors because we aren't really gonna know if it is injectors or wiring. Let's turn the key on. The batteries were flat dead, so I had to out here charging for a good long minute. It's just ticking away. Oh my goodness. Let's just go over here and I'll just roll down through them. There. All right, battery voltage. A lot of these are going to be battery voltage. Boost control, range performance. That could be wiring. A lot of this wiring, intake temp. Cylinder 7. Okay, cylinder 7. Oh, great. Random misfire. The misfire could be. Look at all these. So, I mean, that's where I was thinking we're not even going to be able to diag. I mean, with how this thing was running, look at it, there must have been a lot of stuff. Fan clutch, EBP, battery voltage, PCM, cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, it's showing no glow plug. There must have been stuff unplugged. Or cylinder 6, 7, 8. Glow plug communicator. I mean, it's got it all. I think every single IFCP regulator open. This is crazy. I mean, just about every code you could possibly get in a truck, this has it. Oh my God, even throttle. Yeah, so a lot of this might just be power. So I'm going to go ahead and clear all these out, and we're going to start all over because that's ridiculous. Only one left is brake controller, internal fault. All right, let's scroll through here. We'll take accelerator pedal. I like to look at the wavelength to make sure it goes fairly decent. EBP 0.88. See, I messed with a bunch of the wires on here. It still would die at times. Let's see, engine coolant, engine oil. About matched up, fairly close. Thickens all right now. AT. ICP volts a little low. It should be 0.25. Okay, so let's go back up here and let's watch IPR and fix it. Let's kick it back off and back on. Let me get it set. We're gonna have to see if there's even enough power to do it. Chatter's still going. IPR at the bottom. We don't want 84. Watch the figure at the top. Here we go. Oh, it's dead. Let's try it again. Oh, too dead. So, we will be putting a set of batteries in this thing. We'll be doing that, but got 2 chargers on it. All right, let's try this one more time. I've already. IPR did fire up, went all the way to 84. It's not sounding too bad right now. These injectors do drop out. That was odd. Number 6 at least for sure. Look at 8. 7's high. It might be a 7 injector knob for 7 being so high. That's what we're hearing. I'd get 7, 6, 8. We had a code for, well, we'll see. They drop out. We'll see. We'll check relative compression on number 7. I think we're hearing that knock really good. Alright, we pulled it in here. I can't trust this harness enough to go driving it to actually do a coolant flush or anything like that, because it just randomly dies all the time. So we're gonna have to just gamble that the oil cooler is good. I hate doing that. Man, I hate doing that. We'll just see. I'll let it run in here, maybe get it up to temperature, and then I'll go drive it up and down the street. We'll see what the oil cooler shows. I mean, right now, you know, it's not even warm yet, so. Holy crap, I just ran key on engine running test and it passed all those coats that were in there. It cleared them and they didn't come back, so must have been from wiring, not making connections, who knows, because I just jumped under there real quick, pulled the Fickum off, tidied up a couple of wires and put the Fickum back on it, and that's all I did. And I mean, it's running right now, but yeah, I could go under there very easily and just touch the Fickum harness and it kills the truck very easily. So that means one bump on the road and it will kill the truck. So wind up in the middle of an intersection with the truck dead and you have to get out and shake the water. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. So all right, let's watch. I got RPM up. I'm commanding the VGT up here, and then we'll go down here to manifold pressure, MGP. Open it. Let's see. Watch for it to go back to 0 fairly quick. Right there, MG. Let me trip my finger. Oh, I just moved it. Let me get back down to it. Okay, MGP's at 0. So I'll go back up here. Close it. Right there. Watch how fast it builds. Oh yeah, 2. That means this turbo's boosting pretty well. Now back to 0. It should drop pretty quick. A little slow, but so it means, but it's building boost, so we don't have to worry about that. Might be a little wear on the unison ring and the actuator arm, but nah, we'll see. All right, so got the temperature. There you go. That, yeah, number 7. Horribly bad. Now it's low. Let's try to watch here. I mean, 7 looks like the worst. We can make our decisions from there. Whatever other codes there were. I just keep watching. Alright, so coolant went up to 188. Now it dropped back down. Obviously thermostat opens. It's a little chilly, just a hair. Not too bad. We'll see what oil warms up to. By no means this is a test, but we can at least get the oil hot. I got the VGT closed. And I'm just trying to build some heat. All right, we're gonna get under here and do a front end inspection. It's gonna be loud because I got the truck built heat. Did look like the front crank seal might have been leaking. We'll show more of that because we're going to tear the whole front end apart. Right now, well, it does have red coolant in it, so that's good. I think the red coolant. We're not going to worry about coolant flush right now. I mean, coolant has heated back up. I shut the hood and I got the RPM up a little bit. We're just watching to see what it does. We're getting ready to go ahead and break it down since it's got red in it. I'm just surprised that these injectors are staying as good as they are. Let's get ready to put the eye. I mean, that's nuts. It just looks like number 7. much warm now. Hey, I might need power. It probably won't start if I shut it off, will it? I don't know. I need to shut it off to a relative compression. But let's just start it up and let's do it. No, it's just when random misfire codes come up. Misfire generally could point towards a valve train issue or a cylinder issue whenever there's misfire, or it could be a really bad injector. Could just be completely messed up. Number 7, because we had random misfire and a whole bunch of crap. So it looks like, I mean, we'll just condemn number 7. A lot of times when you rev it up and pull some fuel and then let off and go back to idle like that, it'll really let a bad injector be known. Maybe we'll look back at whatever the beginning of this video where the contribution balance was in and replace those injectors as well. Because I'm just afraid we're going to do number 7 and then there's going to be one of them other ones that'll drop out once it gets all the way up to operating temperature and it's running down the road. It does that. You know, it's not far-fetched, just drop a whole set in it and be done. They haven't owned this truck very long, and it's a freaking bucket truck. So guys up in the bucket, up in the air, we don't want to have any, I mean, it just has to be done. Because, I mean, I guess it does have an electric motor to get the guy down if he gets stuck up there and something happens to it. So we are putting engine harness, Fickum harness, at least number 7 injector, intake Y pipe, check STC fitting, check all of the updates, make sure all of them are done. We'll check fuel pressure too, maybe blue spring kit, we'll see. And clean it up, take the charge air cooler, radiator, take everything out, AC compressor. I'm gonna check AC right now, actually. Okay, so AC could be a little better. It's only 51 degrees, 50 degrees. 48. You look down there on the bottom, down here, that's the coldest in the screen. So it should be a heck of a lot better. We should be pushing like colder than that. It does feel cold though. I mean, it's 412 degrees up there. 75 degrees in here about. I'll tell you how cool this should be. 47. But if I maybe a little bit of throttle. 46. I mean, the only reason why I'm checking this is because we're going to be taking the AC compressor off the truck to wire the new engine harness. 45 degrees is not bad. It's about 75 in here, so it dropped at 30 degrees. So, it does feel refrigerated, so it could be worse. Now, I've been meaning to do this. Let's see if we can see number 7 underneath by this camera. Alright, let me get on that. You can kind of see it's not as white on number 7. Look at this side, see it's white all the way across. That one's a little chilly up on number 2. There, it should be going white right there, but it's not. Alright, we'll take a look at that side for ourselves. Yeah, it's pretty cold in here. Okay, we'll call that good. Still got only number 7. That's pretty good. Oil's at 192, coolant's at 190. We need a side wood. Glow plugs, we're gonna do glow plugs, you know. I mean, it had all the coats in it, but they all went away, so. Obviously, as of right now, glow plugs are all good. I guess we'll go ahead and break it down. Let's break it down and go.
Caught that.
At least do them all, right? Get them all done so they look like that. Not that, that. So we got air filter with a, I mean, it's got oil on it. Filter miner's broke. And it's got a hole in the cac boot, the cac tube right there. So new cac tube, filter minder, and that right there, that's what I'm saying. That would justify an air filter. And put a blue one on it, put a Ford one on it. Better filter. All right, guys, we got Seymour's truck here, taken apart. Starting to take it apart. There's the charge air cooler was leaking over here, so it's pretty bad all over the power steering reservoir. Generally, we take the power steering, we take it off, clean it all up. See all the chalkiness around the, there's a lower rat hose in the upper one. It's, battery cables are, they're kind of working. I'm gonna have to put a bolt down in the bottom of there, clean it all up. See what the coolant pump looks like. Your call. It looks like a leak out of there. It doesn't really look that bad right now. It looks like it's got some oil on it. I think there is some leaking right down there. Let's see if I can do it without. Looks like front crank seal. Yeah, right there, front crank seal leaking. So maybe we ought to go ahead and yank the balancer off and do a front crank seal also. You can see it right there. Yeah, that's pretty much picture book front crank seal leaking. So we maybe ought to add that to it. The AC seemed to be working. So we'll probably just disconnect the compressor, unmount it. That way we can run the engine harness down behind the AC compressor and get it all hooked up. It'll go behind the fuel line too. Let's see, we need a heat shield on the turbo. Doesn't have that on it. There's why we're tearing into it right there. See all that wire there? That's engine harness time. Other than that, let's just keep going.